In this video, we'll start configuring our lab. From the last video, we were doing VRF Lite with static routes. And today we'll use OSPF, basic OSPF configuration, and how this would work in a VRF environment. So let's do it. Please click that link. I work for coffee. So let's continue with our setup here. And we'll continue with the OSPF configuration. So in our previous video, we did static routes. So let's do a show run, section IP route, and we'll see our static routes there. And you can see we have the VRF Star Trek and static route, VRF Star Wars. And we have, let's make sure we still have full connectivity. And as you can see, I've already run a test there to the other side, which is Star Wars East over here. So we could see that that's the connectivity. What about the Star Trek side? Do we still have connectivity? Let's make sure. Ping 10.2.2.2, which is the other side. Yes, we're good to go there. Let's just make sure everything's set up the right way. Show IP interface brief. And we are good. And show IP route. And we still have our static route pointing to that way. So we're good there. But now let's say we don't want to use static routes in our network. Like I mentioned, a provider, it's very difficult that they only use static routes. So they probably use some type of routing protocol. In this case, we'll configure OSPF. So to configure OSPF, let's first remove these static routes. So we'll just copy and paste this. So I always put the no command, and then that way it'll capture the first one. And then you could do a Control A to come to the front and do the second one. And we'll do the same thing over here. Let's see, show run, section IP route, configure no. So we don't want this. And that way we clear it up. And we remove all static routes. Oops, forgot the space there. Alrighty. So we should have lost connectivity. Let's see. And yes, we get a U for unreachable. Okay, so let's get started. Let's start configuring OSPF. So remember, we're working with VRFs here. So we should still have all of our VRFs. Show run, section VRF. Oops, forgot section VRF. And there we go. We do have this. If I do a show run, do show run, and we want to do interface G02, and was it 1 or 100? Yes, 1. Okay, so we have that set up there. Okay, so in order for this to work, we have to do router OSPF, as you know, process ID, let's say 1, and then what do we have? We have VRF now. So let's use process 1 for this interface, .1, so we have it all matching, and that way we don't get lost there. We do VRF, and once again, this VRF, we don't see the word, but we know it's Star Wars. Okay. And then let's do a network, 11.11.11.0. I believe in the previous lab I used a different IP address. I had to rebuild this. And we'll do a subnet mask or a wildcard mask. So remember, it's a 24-bit, so we do that. And let's set this to area 0. Correct? And we're on the west side as well, so we could do network. And this was 10.1.1.0, 0.0.0.255, area 0 as well. that is it. Let's do a show run section RO. And there we go. Can we do a section OSPF? Let's see. OS. Yeah, and it pops up. So different shortcuts that we could use. This would probably bring a bunch more information if we had OSPF configured on the interfaces. But anyway, that's good. That's set up there. So we remove the static routes here. Oh, I need to go back. Forgot a step. So that's only the configuration for router for VRF Star Wars. So now let's do a router OSPF. And let's do, what was the interface that we had configured? Is it 2? Show run interface G0. Let's just do a show IP interface brief. That'll be quicker. Okay, so we use the .2 for the second one. So let's go to router OSPF. And we're going to use process 2 for that VRF. And here we use Star Trek. Okay. And now this will take the same network statements. So we'll do that one. And we'll do that one. Now we should be done. Show run pipe section RO. And there we go. We have the 2 of them. So then we come over here and we have to do the same thing. Router OSPF. Let me see the interfaces here. Do show, I believe it's 10.2, but I want to confirm. Show IP interface brief. Yes, 10.2. Okay, so router OSPF 1, VRF, and Star Wars. And now network 11.11.11.0. And like previous video, I don't promise that this is going to work. This may not work. So anyway, there we go. Network 10.2.2.0, 0.0.0.255, area 0. Okay, and now we have to configure the Star Trek VRF router OSPF 2 VRF, and we'll put the word in there, Star Trek, and remember this is case sensitive. We can up arrow now and put the same statements in there, and we should be done. Let's see, show run pipe section router OSPF. Okay, let's see what we have in our show IP OSPF. And we got to select the process, which is 1. And let's see the database. Okay, we have that. And now we have to select OSPF 2. Okay, we have that. Nice. So what do we have for IP route? Oh, we don't have anything. Remember, you have to do show IP route and what? VRF and the VRF name, Star Wars. And there we go. So you could see that we are learning the 10.1.1 network through OSPF. Does that mean we could ping it? Let's see. So I want to ping provider West. And I cannot, even though I'm learning it. Why not? So can't ping that side either. What is going on? What did I forget? What did I forget? You could pause and put in the comments. Help me out. All right. So ping. Remember, we're in VRF mode. Can't forget VRF. Star Wars. 10.1.1. Will this work? Ooh, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Can we ping the router? Yes, we could. All right. That's awesome. So if we come to Star Wars West, Can we ping across now? And yes, we can. If we go to Star Trek West, can I ping across? Yes, I can. What kind of routes does this have? Show IP route. All right, so from the previous video you saw, we had the static route. So these guys, the customer equipment, does not know anything about the internal network here, about the routing. Shouldn't say it doesn't know about the internal network. It doesn't know what routing is going on. It doesn't know whether it's static, whether it's OSPF. It just knows that he needs to go, for him to go through here to get to this side, or to go anywhere. He just needs to point to him, to his GI00 interface. That's why it has that route, static route, default gateway to this guy. And this guy takes care of business. The provider could have 20, 30 routers in between. Because of its setup, it knows where it needs to go. So don't forget, when you're troubleshooting, especially if you're inside the provider network, or if this is your network at work and you're using VRF Lite for whatever reason, you always have to specify the VRF in all your commands. You can't just put pings in there like this. This will not work. See, it will not work at all. So I hope you learned something. Remember, I work for coffee, espresso. But hit that notification bell as well and subscribe to the channel. I will keep making more videos. In the next video, I will configure EIGRP for this network, or I may expand on this network and add customer routers or customer devices and keep expanding this network so that you could see how this works. Till next time.